today we're fishing on the Fall River just outside of Ashton in eastern Idaho. It is evening, great evening, no breeze. We're fishing a hopper pattern in this pocket water. As we look up, we see all these big boulders, some nice seams, some current seams. I'm using a foam hopper, something I can see well. It's got a white calf tail wing that makes it stand out really, really nice. It's got a foam body, keeps it floating, makes it easy for me to see.
Ice age, glaciers melted, and the waters warmed. And bull trout, well, they retreated to the coldest and the cleanest waters and continued to thrive. Now, the life of a bull trout goes like this. High up in the mountains, in water so cold few other fish visit, bull trout spawn, eggs hatch, and new little bullies enter the world. The young fish hang around their home streams for 1 to 5 years, eating bugs and growing up.
Yeah.
To avoid being eaten themselves, they hide in the rocks and tree roots. Now about 6 inches long and teenagers in fish years,
Let's split, dog.
they get the itch to split.
Party at the lake.
They head downstream to bigger water and bigger food like whitefish, sculpins, kokanee, and of course they get bigger with every bite. Later, and often 2 to 10 pounds heavier, a bull trout feels the urge to go home and start a family of its own. The fish leaves all that good food and swims back to its icy cold stream high up in the mountains. Last time the bull trout took this trip, it was only 6 inches long. Now it's as big as a small dog. 10 to 15 pound bullies are not uncommon, and the biggest bull trout ever caught was 32 pounds. As the big fish swims home, the mountain stream gets smaller and smaller with every flick of its tail. When it finally arrives, it builds a nest, called a redd, finds a partner, and they spawn, leaving a mass of fertilized eggs to incubate and grow into the next generation. That's how it's happened for hundreds of thousands of years in cold, clear, connected, and complex waters. But things have changed. In the past 100 years, the watery world of the bull trout has become a more difficult place to live. Because of how we've used land in bull trout country, its cold, clear, connected, and complex system is falling apart. Some waters are too warm. Spawning streams are muddy. Free-flowing rivers are disconnected. And riverbanks are no longer safe places to hide. And that's not all. Years ago, we put brook trout into bull trout waters. Brookies, the fish with the dark squiggles on its fins and tails, are hungrier and pushier than little bull trout. Adult brook trout produce more eggs than the adult bull trout. Plus, these new arrivals can spawn with bull trout, creating bull-brook hybrids instead of baby bulls.
What's up, dog? What's up?
In many mountain waters, brook trout and hybrids now outnumber young bull trout, competing for food and space that young bullies once had all to themselves.
It's getting a little crowded in here.
Hey, get your fin out of my eye.
Anglers have hurt bull trout too. Fortunately, in some river systems, things are starting to turn around for bull trout. Waters are being reconnected to help bull trout move back and forth to their spawning grounds. We are rebuilding complex streams for the young bull trout to survive better. We are taking steps to keep soil from entering streams, which keeps waters clean and cool. And for now, fishermen who catch bull trout are learning bull trout are a lot of fun to catch and release. How do anglers know if they have a bull trout on their line? It's easy. Bull trout have pink spots on their sides and yellow spots on their back, and no black on their top and tail fin. So, if there's no black, put it back. No black, put it back. Now, if all the good work continues, someday more bullies will be swimming in bull trout country, delighting anglers when a 10-pounder splashes on the end of a line.
My name is Jay Legate. All my life I've been fascinated by wildlife and the outdoors. Now, I'm at Mountain Home Air Force Base. To me, it seems this is a place that most people dread being stationed. They cite lack of things to do, boring, arguably ugly scenery, and terrible weather. In the time that I've spent here, however, I found that it's a place full of mystery, adventure, and hidden beauty. A videographer by trade, I'm making it my mission to experience as much as I can in a single summer and show my fellow airmen that there really is something for everyone in this rugged landscape. Idaho is the 7th least densely populated state, while being the 14th largest. From its desert grasslands to alpine tundra, rocky canyons to mountain glaciers, more than 60% of Idaho is public land waiting to be explored. Local knowledge maintains that the state's name stems from the Nez Perce language and means land of many waters. This suits me, as I've always found the best way to learn about a new place to be to drop a line in the water. So I'm starting my adventure close to home, in fact just a couple miles south of the base. CJ Strike Reservoir is a 7,500-acre impoundment on the Snake River. Maintained by the Bureau of Land Management and Idaho Power, this recreation area is loaded with things to see and do. It's also home to the Air Force Marina, operated by Outdoor Recreation. The marina has cabins available for people wishing to turn a day on the water into an overnight escape, as well as a large selection of watercraft for reservation and rental. I'm about to meet with Derek, who's going to give me boater training so that I can get out on the water for myself and see more of this area.
All right, let's look at the condition of the prop real quick, and we'll go ahead and get in the boat.
Boater training is mandatory for each type of watercraft prior to your first rental, and takes about an hour.
And something happens to the boat, it breaks down. We have our phone number to the marina right here on the top, so that way you can call us. So if you want, go ahead and grab a seat, and I'll push this off. Here we go. I don't think it'll go anywhere. I'm not going to do anything too crazy.
Your instructor will go over operation and safety regulations, as well as point out some local hazards that boaters should be aware of.
So the biggest thing while you're out here is paying attention to other boats. Be courteous to these guys. Some of them, they're not gonna obey the boating laws. You have any questions on driving the boat?
Nope.
All right, let's go ahead and put you behind the wheel. Towards that buoy on the right. And shut it in.
With my training completed, I returned to the docks to part ways with Derek before heading off up the Snake River arm of the reservoir. Today, the marina is holding a bass fishing tournament, and I don't want to be in the way of any anglers. Besides, I have my sights set on a much bigger target. The west coast of the United States, from central California to Alaska, including Idaho, is home to the largest freshwater fish in North America, the white sturgeon. These living fossils have roamed these coasts and rivers virtually unchanged for nearly 175 million years. The Snake River and its impoundments below Twin Falls are home to stable populations of these bottom feeders, which can reach lengths of over 18 feet and weigh well over 1,000 pounds. Sturgeon are a popular target, but without a little knowledge and the right equipment, can also be one of the more elusive species to find. They live in deep holes, usually in cold, fast-flowing water. In lakes like this, they can be found in deep, dark channels where they use their sensitive barbels to search out dead fish, mollusks, and crustaceans on the lake bed. The next day, I set out for Crane Falls Boat Launch, a picturesque spot just a few miles up the Snake River arm.
Before construction of the dam, this spot used to be home to a small waterfall, hence its name. Now fully underwater, the old falls form holes and drop-offs throughout this entire canyon, so it's as good a spot as any to try my luck.
CJ Strike Reservoir is home to 22 species of fish, and surely anything fresh and dead lying on the lake bed will entice a bite. Or so I hope.
So I'm gonna start small, fish up some smaller things out from this lake, and hopefully end up with some sturgeon bait. Cool.
Oh yeah, that's a good fish. Looks like I'm gonna go for a swim.
That's a channel cat. It's not a sturgeon.
Channel catfish can grow to massive sizes by freshwater standards, with some reaching 50 pounds or more, though 5 to 10 pounds is much more common. It's encouraging, as they tend to bite much the same baits as sturgeon, and in this reservoir, they lurk in similar haunts. Feeling revitalized, I continue fishing.